Welcome back to the Sound for More channel. Today I have the pleasure to continue on the journey of learning Hive 2. Before I continue, I would like to remind my viewers to subscribe as it helps with growing the channel. Thank you very much. Okay, so here we are inside Hive 2. Fantastic synth, really great synth. Now, in the previous tutorial, we have gone through a little bit the UI, and today we're going to go through the oscillator and sub-oscillator section. Okay, it will be just an introduction, of course. Works extremely well. Okay, so first of all, we need to learn how to initialize a preset. How do we do that? Well, if you click here, you have a list of presets, of course, which is great. If you click here where it says presets, you have access to tags, directories, list of presets, which is great in terms of searching, but you don't really have an option for initializing a preset. So click again outside and right-click here on the name of the preset. And then you have an option which is called init. So select init. Now we have an initialized preset, which sounds like this. Something to learn about Hive is the routing of all the different oscillators, sub-oscillator. As you can see on the left-hand side, you have oscillator number 1 and oscillator and sub-oscillator 1. And then on the right side, you have sub 2 and oscillator 2. And then down here, you have filter, but you also have here enable oscillator 1, which you can enable also sub 1 or sub oscillator 1, and the same for oscillator 2, sub oscillator 2. And you can do the same here. So you can alternate a little bit the routing of the different oscillators. So let's start simple, because that is what I like to do in the Sound for More channel, and go through step by step and learn how to work and with the synth in this case. So first of all, we go to this section here and we ensure that oscillator number 1 here is active. If you click on it to deactivate it, now I'm pressing keys on the my MIDI controller. You can see there is MIDI activity here when I press key, but you don't hear anything. It's because you need to activate oscillator number 1 here. And now you hear it, okay? You could do the same with sub 1. And now you hear sub 1 here. You can do the same here for oscillator 2, which is coming from here. And also sub 2, which is coming from here. But again, let's start simple for this tutorial and let's focus on oscillator number 1. So up here, first of all, what you can do, you have an arrow here, you click on it, you have option for a copy, save the oscillator settings, show in the finder. You can choose different tones, initialize it as well, so you can click in it to initialize it. Or you can click again and just say, select the chip organ. And it will load that waveform with that configuration. You see it's loading the configuration here, which is great, okay? But of course, if you don't like that, so again, I suggest you initialize it, and then you click here, and you can choose a different type of waveform. So let's start from the simple one, which is sine. Of course, you can use also the mouse wheel to move up and down as you position your cursor there, and then you can move it up and down like so. So top one is sine. We move to the next one, sawtooth. Then we move to the next one again, triangle. Let's go up in the registry. Okay, and let's continue. We have pulse. Really great. And then we have square. And we have half, which is variation. You see the pulse here is narrow. You can have it even narrower. course, sounds different. And then you have white noise, which can become very useful in terms of drum type of presets. Pink noise, of course, very useful. And then lastly, you have wavetable. Again, you click here on this arrow and you have access to all these folders. You can refresh the wavetable, find a wavetable in the Finder, or you can choose a category and then choose one. So 256 frames, great. And of course, down here you see the position. Okay, so you can actually change the position of with the mouse wheel of in the wavetable. Which of course becomes really important when you add LFO and modulator. So in this case, just to show you a quick example, click and hold here, drag here, like so, and then click here and move up. So you can see straight away how easy it is to change the position on the wavetable. Right click here, remove modulation, and select that one, and perfect. There is only one anyway, so we remove the modulation against the wavetable position. Okay, so that is pretty straightforward in terms of how it works. So let's go back to, for example, sort of. Now you can change the number of voices unison. So again, you can use your mouse wheel or click, and then you can go up to 16. Of course, you can detune them. Great sound. You can of course open up the stereo here. Pan left and right. Double click to reset it, of course. You can do pitch adjustment by octave. Or semitone. You can adjust the phase, which can be random, or you click on it, you can have it reset or flow. It will continue between notes. You can set the volume. Let's reset these to random. And then you can add some vibrato. Nice and simple. Now, you can also add a sub-oscillator here. So you click on here, you can choose like the oscillator, and then a sine, waveform, sawtooth, triangle, pulse, square, half, narrow, white, and pink. You can say like the oscillator, which is great. But to hear it, you need to activate it here. Now you can hear here this is 12 semitones or 1 octave below. But of course, you can even go lower, 2 octave. You can adjust the volume, of course. And then you can also start to work on the filter itself, which I will explain in another tutorial, but just as for simplicity. And of course, now that you know how the oscillator 1 and sub-oscillator 1 works, you can use oscillator number 2 here and sub-oscillator 2 here. So again, you activate it here. Change the waveform here, for example, to why not pulse. Perhaps decrease the volume here. So here more oscillator 2. You can also decide to modulate it. Simply clicking here, drag here on the pulse. You don't see anything there, but you see the effect here. So you can adjust the intensity here. And even have sub 2. And you can even add unison here. Let's go up an octave. So it sounds amazing. I hope you agree. Of course, if you click here on effect, you can have more fun. Add the reverb, for example. Maybe a chorus. So lots of options. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on Hive 2. We have covered how to use the oscillator, sub-oscillator sections and also how to activate each one individually. See you next time. Bye.